everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Scrap Mechanics Suggested Creations. I've got some crazy stuff to show you in this episode, and I gotta say, my graphics card is coming soon, but they said it was gonna be here the other day, and now it's saying it's gonna be Monday. Oh boy. But, as I was saying, this episode has a treat of a helicopter for you guys. It's the best one I've ever made, and I'm really excited to show it to you guys, so I definitely think we should go check it out. It's pretty crazy, actually. It's one of the most stable helicopters I've ever made. It's probably the easiest to fly as well, actually. You can fly it with pretty much just W, A, and D. It's very easy to use, and very user-friendly. You only have to really press a couple buttons when you're flying, aside from those 3 other keys. But it has some neat features here. I'm really happy with the look of it, actually, and just the overall aesthetic. I've got some cool kind of turning mounted areas here that you can see. So these are attached to motors that'll spin them, which is just awesome. And it's got landing gear. I've decided to make this back one here out of metal, and it actually really compensates the spinning forces of the blades, actually, which is just very realistic. It flies like a realistic kind of helicopter as well. Before I get inside, actually, I'm going to show you, I have this open side hatch here. So this has like a little arm there that you can actually get up, and that way you can hop on top of the helicopter if you need to. Or of course you can just kind of hop inside here. So it's pretty small, pretty tight and compact, but it's very efficient. So I've used as little thrusters as I could, just to kind of keep it simple and not overcomplicate everything for myself. And it just controls very nicely. So I thought that was nice, though, to be able to just hop right inside of the helicopter. So to get inside, though, all you need to do is walk up to this little side door here, and there's quite a few buttons. You might kind of be thinking to yourself, what, you just said it was going to be really easy to fly, but look at all those buttons. I don't believe you anymore, Moonbo. But let me show you just why it's that easy. Really, all these buttons, the first 5 buttons, really are just the basics. So you press 1, and that's what gets all your blades spinning. And 2 is the upward lift, as you can see, nice and gentle. It's nothing too fast. It'll change as you press different buttons and go forward. So when you're in the air, though, 3 and 4 are just your roll from left to right. So you don't need to do it very often. Sometimes you might catch yourself leaning over a little bit, but you just press that and you're good to go. So really, 1 and 2 you don't have to press. 3 and 4 are rolling you left and right, and when you're in the air, you can press 5 and that'll bring your tail back up like so, just so you can compensate there. So really, there's only 3 buttons, and W, A, and D. I'll show you some awesome flight where you can actually fly in first person here like this, with your hand on the mouse as well as your hand on the keyboard, and you can actually look around and pilot yourself very simply. So 6 is the landing gear, as you can see. I've added a neat feature, actually. So when you're flying first person, I really wanted to be able to just keep this in a first person kind of helicopter. So when you're in the seat, you press 6 like that, and there's actually like a little indicator here to show you which position your landing gear is in. So if you press 6, your landing gear goes down, and you have an indicator there, so while you're flying in first person, you just check your landing gear, and you make sure it's deployed before you try and land on anything. So I thought that was really neat, actually. 7 is the kind of just slow reverse. You can use it in the air if you really need to kind of stop yourself if you might run into something. It's not a very powerful reverse, and I didn't want it to be. It's just something to kind of back out of like a tree or who knows what might be in the way. So 8 is actually the top. You don't have to actually open that top. If it's shut like so, and you hop out, it'll just kind of push you out. But the reason why I added that was because I'd like to be able to, if I ever needed to get out of the helicopter, I could easily do so and then just get right back in like that. So 9 actually does control this side door, because there's many times where I was flying and realized the door was open, and I was like, I can't have that. I need to make sure that's shut when I'm flying, or else it looks stupid. And the last thing I added was the motors there, so the 0 key actually spins those turrets, as you can see. I thought that was just kind of like a nice detail, and it's really nice actually, because when you're in first person, you can actually just see them, as you can see there, and you can see that they're mounted to the steering as well, so they all turn together, and you press 0, and you can actually see them spinning from the first person view, which I just thought was really nice. So overall, guys, this helicopter is just, it's got everything it needs, and it's, like I said, it's just so easy to fly. So I'm going to start spinning up these blades here, and we'll go for a flight, and I'll kind of explain what I'm doing. So the blades, they add quite a bit of stability, actually. So as you can see, 4 and 5, they're there for that rolling left and right. And if I hold down like one of the turning keys, as you can see, it's pretty stable. It doesn't really want to tip over. I just keep using 3 and 4 to make sure it's not going to go too far over from one way or the other. And as you can see here, 5 will bring that tail back up. So W is your forward thrust, as you can see here. We'll start going forward now. And now I'm steering with just A, W, and D, so there's really not much. As you can see, though, I'll roll my wings left and right, but I don't really need to do that. Eventually it will stabilize itself, but just for kind of like my own flying abilities, I like to keep it flat as much as possible. So I'll bring that landing gear up, actually, so you can see there, it looks really sleek with that landing gear up. And remember, so if your tail starts dipping down, then just hit 5 and it'll bring it right back up again. So let's find a mountain to land on, and we'll get a good feel for it. Oh, actually, I'm above one right there. That's perfect. So I'll show you just how easy it is to land, too. Make sure that landing gear is down. And then let's just drop ourselves on to the top there. The spinning blades actually really slows down how fast you fall as well. So it's really nice and very easy and subtle when you're dropping down. So you don't have to worry too much about like falling like a really big heavy rock. Ah, perfect landing. And now I'll show you actually how quick it can be at taking off as well. Because when I first took off there, I just kind of hovered around a little bit, but I see a nice opening in between those 2 trees there, so I'll show you almost just how combat-like this helicopter actually is. And how about, to make it interesting, I'll do it in the first person. So I'll start the blade spinning. And then you just hit 2, and away you go. So I'm going to try and fly over to another mountain and land on top of it over here, maybe. Like I showed you, though, it's very easy to fly in first person. So there's the landing gear indicator going up. And we're making our way now to the mountain over on this side. Ah, perfect little landing spot right there, I'd say. I'm going to stay kind of low so I can see the ground as I'm coming up to it. But it's just so stable. I don't even have to really... I don't need to be outside of the cockpit to get a feel for exactly what's happening. Oh, gotta get that landing gear down. I'd say that was a pretty smooth landing in first person. So, I brought this helicopter over to my friend Can Gaming. I'm sure you've seen him before. I brought it over to show him this neat helicopter that I made. I was really excited to show him, and he was like, "Man, you need rockets that you can shoot on it. And I was like, well, I got rockets, man. You know, I got these pipes, you know, there's valves on them for some reason. But they're rockets, they look kind of rocket-like. And he was like, no, that's not... No, you need to shoot them. You need shooting rockets. So I have a special surprise for you guys. With a bit of work with Can Gaming, we made something very unique, very special, and it's going to be available to you. And so I think we should go and check that out right now. Alright, so here we are with the new and improved Apache Longbow with firing rockets. This thing is just amazing. I'm gonna shoot these rockets. I'll show you how it all works, and I'll show you how to mount these rockets as well. As you can see, I painted it as an homage to Can for kind of inspiring this idea and getting his rocket out. He just quickly whipped one of these up, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be throwing this rocket design up on the workshop. So how it works, though, is very simple. It has a tripping mechanism here, as you can see on bearings, so that will actually come down and trip this sensor, which will activate a timer. So it'll turn the thruster on, the timer will start, and it'll fly away, and after 5 seconds, the timer will trigger the thruster again and turn it off. So you can actually shoot it, it'll go, and then after a few seconds, it drops to the ground, and you don't have to worry about having hundreds of rockets whizzing around above your head. So let's shoot a few rockets and load them back up. Alright, so I'm going to shoot this first one from the first-person view here so you guys can get a cool feel for it. 7 is the left missile, so if I press that, it should arm it and fire it. There it goes. Oh, perfect. Look at that. It's on target. Kaboom! Yeah, that was the best sound effect I had for that one. Alright, so you got your rockets fired, and you're ready to mount some new ones. All you gotta do is spawn them on the lift, once you find them anyway. Hopefully you don't have too many things like I do. So you spawn one there, you have to wait for that timer to tick up, and that way it'll turn it off. So there's one ready there, and then you just grab a second rocket, let that timer tick away. Get your weld tool out. Alright, so now you've got your extra rockets. All you need to do is grab either side of here and weld it to the block. So you add your block onto the bottom mounting point here. So one on the left side. And you add one on the right side. Get your weld tool out. I can take that one off the lift now. So you grab one of these logic gates, and you got underneath, right like so, and weld it on. So there, that rocket is now mounted and welded, so it's not going anywhere. And we'll do the same thing for the other side now. I'm pretty sure you have to grab the opposite side and weld it to this block here, underneath. There we go, perfect. So now we've got them re-welded on. Of course, you could always just spawn a new helicopter, but I mean, that's pretty quick and easy to do. So once they're welded on and mounted, you just break the weld and then put a block back up on top. And then that way it won't slide around. So you pop it down, do it on both sides, put another block, hop inside, get up into the air. And of course, what other thing to do than to fire some rockets? But as you can see, guys, this one, it doesn't fly as well. So I'm going to do some work to this one so that it flies better before I put this one on the Steam Workshop. But the other one, the one that flies, no problem. That's going to be on the workshop for you guys to download. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, you enjoyed the helicopters, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for endless scrap mechanic.